My name is Riku Nakajo. I'm 29 years old, but I still have trouble getting up in the morning. I woke up late again. Why do I always turn off my alarm? It'll be okay. I'll just run the whole way. I'll get there on time. I take the same street every day. I happened to look up at the hospital across the street and saw a girl in the window on the 3rd floor. Is she waving at me? Huh? Run? Oh crap! I gotta run! I rushed to the office and somehow made it to my desk on time. That was close. I should have been staring at that girl in the hospital. The next morning, I was running to the office again. I didn't want to be late. Damn it! Why is this light always red? It's wasting my precious time! Oh, which reminds me. I bet she's laughing at me since she sees me running to work every day. She's in the hospital. I bet she doesn't have anything to do. She probably looks out the window to watch people go by and waves if any of us see her. I decided to wave back at her every time I saw her waving at me. One day, wow, she wrote me a message. That's so sweet. She's so nice. A month passed since I first saw the girl. I started to get up a little earlier in hopes of seeing her bright smile before going to work. She writes me messages and sometimes draws me little pictures. I try to make her laugh by doing funny poses and dances. I didn't care about what others thought. It was only for a few seconds, but seeing her had become the highlight of my days. However, one day, I couldn't find the girl in the window. That's weird. The curtains in her room are completely shut, too. It's already been 3 days. Maybe she was discharged from the hospital. Wish she would have given me a heads up if she was gonna leave. Wait, how could she when we don't even know each other? Could it be that she got too sick to get up and wave at me every day? She looks so bright and cheery every morning. I choose to believe that she got discharged from the hospital. I don't want her to be sick or anything. I kept thinking about her for the next few days. Then suddenly, she was at the window again. Hey! There she is! So she wasn't discharged from the hospital. So does that mean she was too sick to get up? I wanted to know why she wasn't at the window for such a long time. So I wrote her a message on a big piece of paper to show her. Can I go visit you on Sunday? Of course, why would she want a guy she doesn't even know to visit her at the hospital? Huh? 303? A peach? And a river. Oh, is that? I went to visit her at the hospital that Sunday, just like I promised. Excuse me, I'm here to visit Mrs. Momokawa in room 303.
Okay, go on ahead.
Peach is Momo, and river is Kawa in Japanese. It's her name! Hi, my name is Riku Nakajo. Thanks for always waving at me. Here's a gift.
You sound so formal, it's silly.
My bad. I didn't know what to say to you. Anyways, I enjoy seeing you every morning. I go to work feeling great because I see you every morning. I used to be really bad at waking up, but that's improved thanks to you.
Mr. Nakajo, I always enjoyed watching you run with bed hair.
So you've been watching me before I even noticed you.
Yup, I've never seen someone run so desperately to work every morning. You made such an impression.
Have you been in the hospital for a while?
Uh-huh. I've been sick my whole life, so the hospital is like my second home. The doctors said my being alive till 19 is a miracle, but I have to get a transplant operation if I want to get better. I'd have to go overseas for it, but the chance of succeeding is low. And there's no way I can get surgery. We're a single mother family and we don't have any money for it. I put my mother through a lot of pain because of my sickness. I don't want to cause any more. Mr. Nakajo, will you come to visit me again? I would love to hear stories about the outside world.
Okay. How about I come again next Sunday?
Yay! Now I have something to look forward to.
Starting that Sunday, I started going to the hospital every week to visit her, Fuka Momokawa. 3 months had passed, and I had already met her mother, too. We often saw each other in Fuka's room. She was kind and we got along well. We also continued to wave at each other every morning on my way to work. However, one Sunday, the nurse told me that Fuka wasn't allowed to have any visitors.
Mr. Nakajo, I was waiting for you. I thought you would come.
Fuka's mother.
I don't think you should come here anymore. Fuka isn't getting any better. I don't think we have much time left with her.
No. Why are you giving up on her so fast? Isn't there a chance for her if she gets surgery overseas?
You have no idea how much it costs. Her father ran away because he couldn't handle the pressure of the amount of money we had to pay for that surgery.
But...
There's nothing I can do. I don't have the money.
Then I will pay for it. I work at a design company. I haven't had a girlfriend for a long time, so I saved up most of my money. I might have enough.
No, we just met. I don't know anything about you other than your name. How can I ask you to do that for us?
Why is it so difficult for you to accept? We're talking about Fuka's life. You should be doing everything you can to save her. Who cares about who I am? Don't you want to save Fuka? Don't you want her to live?
But...
Please, let me save your daughter. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I just watched her die. I am a pretty famous designer in the industry, but it was expensive. I used up all my savings to make the surgery happen. A year later, my life had changed completely.
Hey, Riku, wake up. It's morning.
Just a little more.
You always say that, but you never... what?
Good morning, Fuka.
Gosh, that was on purpose, wasn't it?
The surgery went well. Fuka said she wanted to take care of me to thank me, so she moved in after she recovered. It's no surprise that we started dating right after. We're even planning to get married.
Oh, I almost forgot. Mom keeps telling me to talk to you about paying back the money you used for my surgery.
Oh, she doesn't have to worry about that. I'm the one who has to thank her for giving you birth. Imagining you as my wife is what gives me motivation every day. And about my savings, it'll be back to the original amount in no time. So tell her that, okay? So if you want to pay me back, you need to live a long, happy life.
Okay.
Looking back on everything, it wasn't just a coincidence. How I noticed her in the window, and how we became so close after that. I am confident when I say this. Destiny brought Fuka to me, so I could save her and live the rest of my life with her. My name is Mizuki Urawa, and I'm 23 years old. I started working as a freelance systems engineer after graduating from college. I spent most of my day holed up in my room and didn't have anyone other than my family members to talk to, but... Hey, Mizuki! Hurry and add this product to the website! Well, there's also another person I talked to. This is my childhood friend, Rio. You know, coming into my room suddenly to ask me to work for you gives me a jump scare. Can you be a bit more considerate? Maybe send me a message beforehand or something? What? Why do I have to do all that? I'm busy, you know? Here's the list of products. What's wrong? Hurry up and get to it. I'm busy. I have to do this for free again? Of course. Why do I have to pay you? It's fine, because we're childhood friends, right? How long do you think I've been taking care of you? I know. I do at least appreciate everything you've done for me, but at least a little. Okay, if you understand, then get to it. But you know, I'd like for you to not ask me so suddenly. I have other things I need to do too. You have other plans? That's funny. You should say that after your schedule gets completely full like mine. But I'm working too. There are things I might not be able to do if you ask me out of nowhere. The thing for today is fine, but we should change that from now on. Is that okay? Oh? So you're overloaded with work? Even though you just graduated college and started your freelancing job? You're already famous? That's not what I'm saying. Mizuki, look here. I'm giving you a sense of self-worth. I know your work isn't doing that great, and you're not blending into society well. So I'm trying to help you see that there are things you can still do. You understand? Well, yeah. Mizuki, your part-time job in college didn't go so well, right? You learned that you're not cut out to work out of the house and in the real world, right? Yeah. You started freelancing after graduation because it was hard for you to get into a job and work like a normal person, right? What was the reason you started working towards becoming a system engineer again? Because you let me help you create an online shop for class. That's when I realized I might actually be good at it. Exactly! Basically, it was all thanks to me. That's why you should appreciate me more. I'm done. I updated the website. Oh, thanks, man. I bought you lunch as a way to thank you, so eat it later. I left it in your fridge. Thanks. Rio's job utilizes online shopping. The online shopping website we created in college expanded, and ever since then, he's been using that as his source of income. I was the one that put that website online. At the time, I had no knowledge about systems engineering, but Rio suddenly told me to study and make it. So I studied hard and used the small information I had to create the website for him. Even after that, as an adult, he came over to me quite often because I was self-employed and threw a bunch of work at me. I know he's not a bad guy because he went through the effort to get me lunch. I know that, but is my work really only worth $4.98? Rio continued to bring me more work. I was hoping that we'd be able to come to some kind of understanding, but Rio never understood. While that was happening, I had a turning point in my career. Hey, Mizuki! Can you do this? I need it to be completed immediately. Oh, sorry, I can't take my hands off this right now. Hold on a second. What? You have some nerve to put off a favor I asked you. I'm sorry, I've been really busy recently. Oh? How busy are you? Actually, I decided to create a corporation and have employees now. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can take on work for you for free from now on because of that. The company's appearance will be bad if I do work for free. What? Then who am I supposed to ask? You can hire another professional. But if you want me to do things for you, can you request my services properly through my company? I can give you a quote. Quote? Okay. How much would it cost for you to do the things that you've been doing for me? Probably around $7,000 a month. $7,000? What do you mean $7,000 a month? Dude, do you have something against me or something? I'm not trying to rip you off or anything like that. I was adding new products every day, tracking SEO performances so that it'd be easier to have your products listed in the rankings, and creating banners to make them more appealing to customers. This is a reasonable rate. You gotta be kidding me! I'm never asking you for help ever again! I'm cutting off all ties with you! After that, Rio stopped coming into my house. A month later, I got curious and checked on Rio's online shop. I saw that the website looked worse than ever, and that updates on the website had started lagging ever since we stopped being in touch. 2 days later, I got a call from one of Rio's employees.
This is embarrassing to say, but ever since my boss hired a cheap company, the website has been a disaster. They changed up everything on the website, even the parts that were originally good. The management of our company is deteriorating.
Is that so? I see.
I even told my boss that you were spoiling him too much, Urawa-san. The quote you gave is a reasonable price for the work you've been putting into our website. Honestly, your work is worth so much more.
So, how is your boss doing?
Well, he's been whining that he can't ask you for help anymore since he said that he was going to cut ties with you.
Tell him that if he comes to my house to apologize, I'll forgive him. On that same day, Rio came to my house. I was wrong. I finally realized that the reason why my company's sales and performance were so good was because you were working hard on our website for us. He doesn't sound like he's going to apologize. And what do you want me to do about it? I'll request your services through your company. So please fix the website back to how it originally was. It's gonna cost you $7,000 a month. Are you okay with that? I know we can get back our deficit from last month quickly if I ask for your help. In fact, I'm expecting the quality of your work to be even higher now that I'm paying you. You better not slack off. If you're asking for more work than what I did before, I think it'll be about $8,000 a month. I don't care about that anymore. I'll give you whatever price you ask for, so please do something. Just like that, Rio's company formally contracted my company to work on their website. I worked hard to fix up the company website and brought the sales back up. But since I took it on as a real job, I couldn't just stop there. I did everything I could to contribute to improving the performance of his company. You saved me. Thanks to you, our company performance is back to normal. In fact, it's probably doing better than ever. I'm glad. But you know, I've been thinking, it's your fault because you always did the work I asked you to do so easily, you know? That's why I wrongly assumed that everything you were doing was easy work. Huh? I know that you're actually super talented. You did things that normal people would struggle with super easily. I know that, but... Hey, come on. What are you trying to say to me? I'm sorry. That I was always underestimating your abilities and making fun of you, and thanks for not abandoning me and helping me out. That's true. Rio, you have a bad mouth and a bad attitude, so if we weren't childhood friends, I'd probably have tried my best to stay away from someone like you. What? But yeah, we're childhood friends, so you better appreciate me more. Yeah. A lot of things happen between us, but I quite like the friendship we have now. My name is Riku Maijima, and I'm 20 years old. I'm in a research group on Japanese literature in my college. I haven't had a girlfriend in my entire life, but I love reading. That's why I've been wanting a relationship like the ones you would find in a romance novel. I've been wanting that, but... Riku, you're reading again? Can't you find something better to do?
You're looking lame as always. I want to know where you even buy clothes that look like that.
You're never going to get a girlfriend at this rate. Shut up, guys. Leave me alone. They should just ignore me if they don't like me.
Meijima-kun, don't let them get to your head. I think that your serious face when you're reading looks handsome.
This girl's name is Sakura Yoshiwara, and she's older than me by 1 grade. Everyone in college admires and loves her. I get teased for how I look even at college, but she always nicely defends me. I don't mind it much. Thank you.
We're going to buy research material tomorrow, right? I'm so excited!
I've been wanting to read the documents for a while, so I'm also excited.
Meijima-kun, I think you'd be more handsome if you cut your bangs. Doesn't it get in the way when you read?
No, I'm just an ugly introvert, so I feel more comfortable hiding my face.
I think you're handsome, Meijima-kun.
Today is Saturday, and my research group from college gathered to buy research material. We looked around different bookstores in town, and after 2 hours, we collected enough material. We were on our way to the train station to head home when... I want to read this as soon as possible. I'm thirsty. Let's drink coffee or something before we go home.
What? I'm fine with that, but walking around town with Meijima is like a punishment game. People would think we're lame introverts too.
You're so right. I don't want people to think that we're with Riku.
That's not true. Meijima-kun has the most knowledge out of everyone on our team. Without him, our research wouldn't be going as smoothly. And he's not lame either. Having knowledge and motivation is cool.
If only I could be in a relationship with someone like Sakura-san. An introvert that likes reading even till this day and age? I don't see what's cool about someone like that. I'm okay with being an introvert until someone that can understand me appears in my life. We were walking around the open space near the train station when a well-dressed man came closer and stopped right in front of me. Excuse me, would you like to be a haircut model? It's a model for a hair catalog magazine. Huh? Me?
Come on, there's no way he'd be talking to you.
Yeah, there's no way! He's obviously talking to me. Go look at yourself in a mirror, dude. Oh, okay. The guy was clearly talking to me. Oh no! I was talking to you!
What? Is this a special feature on how much you can make an ugly guy change?
Not at all! This is a special feature of summer haircut styles. We'd really love to feature you in it. I've been looking for haircut models around town for 3 hours today, but I haven't found anyone as qualified as you. No, I'm fine. I'm ugly anyways.
Meijima-kun, you should try it out. You'd look totally handsome. Your side profile when you're studying is dignified and handsome, so I think you'd be super good looking if you cut your bangs.
She always says nice things like that. They might just be empty compliments, but they still made me happy. If you say so, Sakura-san. The salon is close by! After Sakura-san convinced me, the handsome hairstylist pulled me into a stylish hair salon. It was my first time ever going to a hair salon, so I was getting cold sweats.
This is a popular hair salon that celebrities go to. It was ranked as the #1 hair salon in the area.
Really? Why would a hairstylist from a store like that ask Riku to be a haircut model? I understand why Sakura-san would come, but why is everyone else following too? At this rate, I was being used as a show.
If for some weird reason Riku becomes handsome, I'll shave my head.
Yeah, me too! If by some mistake Riku becomes handsome, I'll shave my entire head too. Me too! I could see everyone smirking in the mirror as I got my hair cut. Their presence made me very uncomfortable.
I honestly think Mejima-kun would look more handsome if he cut his bangs so that we can see his jawline.
You understand too, right? You're right. Riku-kun has a good facial structure. He should stay away from hairstyles that hide his facial lines, because it takes away from his potential. Facial structure? I could see my hair getting shorter and shorter in the mirror. I haven't had my hair this short since middle school, so it was a little embarrassing. See? You're super handsome. I knew it was a waste to hide your face with your hair. What? Is that really me? In the mirror, I saw a freshly styled boy that's completely different from my usual plain look. I thought I was looking at a different person, turned around a couple of times to check. But no matter how many times I looked, the person in the mirror was me. Yeah, looks great. You're the perfect model for this haircut.
Mejima-kun, you look handsome. The haircut really suits you.
What? You're joking, right? Is that really the ugly Mejima? I can't believe it.
You're kidding! If Riku can be this handsome after a haircut, I should probably be able to be even more good looking. Yeah! We'd like to be haircut models too! I'm definitely sure we'd have more potential than Riku. No, you guys shouldn't overestimate yourself. Riku-kun's facial structure is 1 in a million, and his kind expression matches the hairstyle extremely well. But Otani-san, that's because you're skilled at what you do. No, there are some things that you still can't do even if you have the skills. Let's see. The only people I could use as a haircut model in this group are Riku-kun and that girl over there. Sounds good. You should get a haircut too. I'll put you guys on the same issue.
What? Me?
It's definitely true that Otani-san's talented at cutting hair, but it's not just that. He's super skilled at looking for potential in people. Isn't it amazing that he knows what hairstyle would match a person just by looking at their facial structures?
What do you think? Does it look good?
It looks really good on you. You're even prettier than usual.
Ugh.
Okay then. Didn't you three say you were gonna go completely bald? I could shave all 3 of your heads for free right now. What do you say? Don't tell me you're gonna break a promise with your friend, right?
That was just an expression.
Yeah. We never thought that you were such a talented hairstylist. I used to be on the baseball team, so I was always bald. I don't want to go back to that life anymore.
You guys made so much fun of Mejima-kun. You should keep your promise.
Well, I wasn't too bothered by it. It's fine. You'll keep your promise, won't you? When I went back to college after getting my haircut, people who never talked to me started to make conversation with me. A haircut really does make a huge difference.
Mejima, I'm sorry for making fun of you all this time. You never reacted when we would talk to you, so I went overboard.
Can you help us with the sections we don't understand from yesterday's research material? I was president to guess you because you were always so immersed in your studies. Okay, sure. Let's think through it together. I always hid my face because I didn't like my introverted self. I was the one who assumed that people weren't interested in me. I'm sorry too. I know it must have been hard to talk to me when I was so cooped up in my own world. The following month, the magazine with the special feature of Sakura-san and I was published. Turns out Otani-san, the hairstylist, was a world-famous stylist who even did styles on collections.
Look, Mejima-kun, we're on the cover. That hairstylist really was a famous person.
Oh, I'm getting a call from Otani-san. Riku-kun, I want you to be my haircut model again. Is that okay? What? Really?
Can I come too? I want to say thank you to Otani-san.
This is almost like a date. It makes me feel nervous.
Hey, Meijima-kun. I've always liked your side profile whenever you read books in the lab room. You're serious and really smart, too. I could tell that you really loved books, and I thought you were an amazing person.
What?
Meijima-kun, it's not like you're uninterested in relationships, right?
You might laugh at me for saying this, but until I could find someone who I can have a romance novel-like relationship with, I always thought that I was fine keeping my relationship status as is.
Then Meijima-kun, will you have a whirlwind relationship with me like your life depends on it?
He just quoted the Zai. But that's what the main character said to his mistress. If I'm gonna be in a relationship, I want to do it like my life depends on it.
I want to talk about books with you, Meijima-kun. I want to talk about the books I like and learn about the books that you like. I want to go bookstore hopping on our days off.
I'd like that too. I've always dreamed of having that kind of relationship. No matter how much my appearance changed, my personality might still be dull and boring. Still, I always believed that I would find someone who would love me for who I am. My name is Mizuki Kono, a 32-year-old businessman. I'm still in my 30s, but I run a small consulting company. Before starting my own company, I worked at a major consulting firm. I gained considerable experience and made a lot of contracts. With this background, I was able to start my own consulting firm and all seemed to fall into place. One day, one of my employees stopped me. Hey boss, you don't seem all that preoccupied, so I figured it'd be a good time to get your advice. Wonder what this is all about. Maybe if he's getting married or something. What do you say about a party tonight? A couple of girls I know are coming. It'll be good for you. What do you say? Huh? Like a double date kind of setup? Yeah. You're always about work. You're completely ignoring the whole personal romantic relationship. That's important too, you know. Yeah, you think? I'm over 30, not some university student. Kind of a weird to attend this kind of party, but I was happy that my employee would even think about me. So I decided to attend. Okay then, let me finish up this contract and I'll catch up with you later. Don't go skipping out on us, boss. We're all expecting you. I was a little late, but I finally made it to the restaurant where this little date was scheduled. Sorry to be late. I'm Mizuki Kono. Hey, boss. Glad you can make it. Okay then. Sorry for the introductions again. This is Emily Kabata.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Emily. Working late, huh?
And this is Ririka Misage.
Yeah, hi.
So, I hear that you're running your own company. Is that right? You must be so busy.
Wow. She is really pretty, I must say. Yes, I suppose so. It can get pretty hectic. Yeah, the consulting business is pretty intensive. I always seem to be catching the last train home. Coming to these kinds of get-togethers, it's actually pretty rare for us.
Wow, that's really something. But I heard that a company president was coming today. But I didn't expect a guy like this. I mean, your hair is a mess. Not really the president type.
Huh? Yeah, this? Forgot to brush it. Guess I got a kink there when I was sleeping.
Oh, don't worry about it. You can't even notice it.
Well, this is the first time he's been to these, so give him a break.
You didn't really have to go out of your way to come here. Guess you're hard up to meet girls, huh? You say you're busy, but that's maybe because you're so poor. You have no time for fun, is that it?
Huh? What is this? Why am I getting the third degree from this woman? Come on, Ririka. The boss is not poor.
Oh yeah, is that right? I saw a car parked outside. I saw you drive up in that old K car. What kind of company president drives a beat-up economy car? What kind of fly-by-night company do you run anyway? I mean, you can say you're the president of some company, but it could be any old company, you know, in name only. You're just a middle-aged guy trying to pass yourself off as a so-called company president. Am I right?
Oh, shoot. Busted! Guess she saw me drive up in that junk heap. Maybe I should think of replacing that.
If it serves its purpose, any car would do. What's the big deal? Come on, Ririka, have a little courtesy.
I don't know about that. Looks really tacky, and besides, he drives that thing because his business is not doing well. Obvious, isn't it?
You got him all wrong. The boss is a real go-getter. He knows business. Not many people can start and run a consulting company when they're in their 30s. Everyone who works there has the utmost respect for him.
Oh, yeah? Well, if he's like you, Mr. Ukyo, well, I can understand, but him, I don't know.
I don't agree. I think Mr. Kono is the type of person that can do really good work. I think he's a hard worker. He never gets upset and stays calm despite you berating him, like you're doing now. Also, Mr. Ukyo and the others at his company seem to really respect him. He must be doing something right. There aren't many people that feel that way towards their boss.
I suppose that party was mainly about bashing me. But all in all, it went pretty well.
Sorry about Ririka. She's always like that. She can be rude sometimes.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
She heard that someone who runs a company was coming, so she was pretty eager to meet you. Maybe you were not what she was expecting, so she just took it out on you. She takes the double date type party seriously. Maybe too seriously, in fact.
So, does that mean she's been to these things many times before? Come to think of it, maybe that's why she acts that way. You know, flashy like, to draw attention perhaps?
As a sort of apology, would you like to go out to dinner next time?
Huh? You mean just the two of us?
Yes, of course, silly.
Oh, okay. I'd like that. So, after that little double date, I exchanged contact info with Emily. Oh boy, why did I have to come in the company car? Didn't figure I'd be ridiculed for that. I'm really sorry, boss. Maybe I shouldn't have invited you. Forget it. It wasn't all that bad. Don't worry about it. Huh? Really? That night, I got a message from Miss Kabata. It was about that dinner date she promised. Oh yeah, that's right. I did exchange contact info with her, didn't I? 2 weeks later. Okay, new account. I got this, ready or not. Excuse me, I'm Kono with SF Consulting, but... Huh? Hey, aren't you?
Oh my, Mr. Kono! So you're here for that consulting project with our firm, right?
Wow, what a pleasant surprise. Didn't expect to see you here. Yeah, that's right. I'm looking forward to that dinner next week.
Yes, me too.
Hope this job goes well. Pleased to meet you. I'm Kono with SF Consulting. Thank you for selecting our firm for this project. Thank you for coming all this way. Please sit. Thanks so much. I've heard a lot of good things about you. All your staff are pretty young, but your firm has racked up some very impressive results. What are you waiting for? Please serve our guests some tea, would you? Huh? That's secretary. That's the girl who made fun of me at the party. Lily or something, wasn't it?
Excuse me. I'm so sorry about last time. I sort of tend to say what comes into my head, you know. I hope you weren't offended. As an apology, would you like to have dinner with me tonight? My way of repaying for my total rudeness. Pretty please.
Huh? I'm driving the same car I was on that day. This is getting kind of creepy. You know, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm pretty busy.
Wait a sec! Come on, have dinner with me!
Ah! Sorry, no way! Hey, welcome back, boss. How was that new account? Huh? Yeah, it went well. No problem getting that account. That's great to hear. Oh, and I just got a message, or shall I say a ton of message from that girl, from the double date. That girl, Ririka? It's coming non-stop. I set up that whole get-together thing, so I guess I'm responsible. What's going on, boss? She was, like, really trash-talking you during that date. I thought she didn't like you. I have no idea what it's about either. But it turns out she was the new client's secretary. Consulting work takes up a lot of time. You gotta be a good listener. and give sound advice, so who better than to consult with? Okay, what I get from this is she's accumulated your merits and came to the conclusion that you're a good prospect. She at first thought of you as some poor fake company president, right? As soon as she found out you were the real thing, she set her mind to become the next first lady, so to speak. Man, what the hell is wrong with her? I was gradually getting angry at her complete selfishness. Oh shit! What the?
I'm looking forward to next week.
Whew, it's only Emily. Scared the daylights out of me. On the day of the dinner date, I got into my own car and headed out to pick up Emily. I made plans to pick her up at the station near her office after I finished work. Okay, this time I'm ready. Got my suit and my hairstylist set. Here I come. Ah, what the?
Oh, if it isn't Mr. Kono! Fancy meeting you here! You've got such a cool car! Did you come all this way to pick me up? I'm so happy.
What the hell is she talking about? Has she gone bonkers?
Mr. Kono, sorry to keep you waiting. Huh?
Would you please stop following me around? For your information, we're getting married.
What? Seriously?
No way. No, it can't be!
Come on, Emily. Let's go have that dinner we've been waiting for.
Yeah, sure.
So that's what happened. Sorry about that. Bet you were shocked to say the least.
I was, but I get it now. Maybe there is no other course, huh? Well, I suppose we should think positively about these things, huh?
After that, we met on several occasions. I guess there were some ups and downs, but when I think back on it, I'm glad I went on that double date. My name is Kaito Manaka. I'm a single 25-year-old, and I'm living quite a boring life. I'm too lazy to eat dinner. Can't I just have a body where I don't need to eat anything? That way, I wouldn't have to pay for food expenses either. Oh, people at my work were saying the swimsuit model's popular recently. Yeah, nope. I don't feel anything at all. Why don't I feel any sexual attraction to girls anymore? She's probably just not my type. I haven't even wanted a girlfriend in a while. But that's probably because I'm just tired from being so busy at work. That's what I try to tell myself. Eating pre-made food from the convenience store creates so much trash. I swear eating is such a chore.
Oh, Monica-san, good morning.
Oh, it's Sagawa-san, my next door neighbor. Good morning.
Good morning. Une-san, good morning.
And that's Une-san, my other next door neighbor. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, Ueno-san from upstairs. All my neighbors are gathered here. Today is a strange day. It's so early in the morning, but everyone seems so energetic and shiny. In the past, I would have felt nervous in this type of situation, but I don't feel anything right now. Maybe it's because I'm not a kid anymore. Either way, everyone else looks so put together. It's kind of embarrassing for them to see the contents of my trash bag.
Monica-san, you have a lot of empty bento boxes.
I work overtime a lot, so I don't have the energy to cook. That's why I usually eat pre-cooked meals 3 times a day.
That must be hard. Don't you get tired of eating convenience store bento boxes every single day?
Oh no, I don't mind it that much. I've never had that much interest in food, so it doesn't matter what I eat, as long as it takes my hunger away.
Huh?
Are you saying you don't have any interest in eating?
Yes. Honestly, I wish I could live without eating because I find it such a hassle. But I'll get sick if I don't eat anything, so I do my best to try to put something in my mouth.
But don't you have any favorite foods?
Nope, not at all.
You don't have any restaurants that you like to go to?
Eating outside, such a hassle.
Monica-san, that's why you have a lean body. You're actually very tall, so you should be eating a lot more. You probably don't meet the average amount of calories that an adult male should eat in a day.
Really? I always thought that I ate too much. I heard that bento boxes from convenience stores are pretty high in calories.
It It depends on the types of bento boxes that you choose. Based on our conversation just now, you probably don't need high-caloric bento boxes like extra-large katsu curry and things like that.
I guess you're right. I don't eat the type of bento boxes that make your stomach big just by looking at them. How amazing would it be if I could live without having to eat? It's honestly so hard having to choose what to eat every day. Everything tastes the same no matter what I eat.
What? What did you just say? We can't just ignore that.
Can you contact us after you're done with work today?
Sure?
I'm off today, so anytime is okay. I'll finish dinner earlier than usual and come over.
If the three of us are going to be together, seems like Monica-san's room would be the best place to meet.
Huh? The three of them kind of mad at me? That night when I returned home from work, I gave the ladies a call just like I was instructed to. Suddenly, the three women from that morning rounded up in my room.
We've been talking while waiting for you to come home and decided we want to work together to fix your eating habits and make you experience the joy of eating.
What? Why would you do that? I don't understand.
I'm a culinary researcher. I'm a chef at a French restaurant.
I'm a nutritionist.
What? The three of them were experts on food?
We understand that you didn't know, but there's a heavy punishment for saying everything tastes the same anyways in front of us. I want to show you that eating isn't just about giving your body the calories it needs to survive.
He's probably not even giving his body the right nutrients in the first place. Monica-san, I bet you haven't been feeling any emotion from looking at women recently.
Huh? How do you know that?
If you keep eating unbalanced meals from the convenience store, you're going to wither as a man.
What? This was all because of my diet? Shoot. I was never interested in food, so I've never even given a thought to the negative effects that it could have on my body. This is something I need to do something about. What should I do from now on?
Monica-san, we'll prepare your meals for you. All you need to do is eat them.
Make sure you tell us when you're not feeling very well or when there's a physical change in your health. We'll make sure to deal with it right away.
So how much should I pay you guys?
We're the ones that wanted to do this in the first place, so don't worry about it at all.
Every morning after that, breakfast and lunch were delivered to my room. When I got home, there was a dinner waiting for me as well. Tagawa-san was in charge of Mondays and Tuesdays. Une-san was in charge of Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And Ueno-san was in charge of Saturdays and Sundays. They were each in charge of a certain day and diligently cooked my meals. It's a Japanese hamburger today.
How is it? Do you understand the joy of eating now?
I'll pay you, ladies. I feel bad that you have to always make food for me.
More importantly, do you understand how food can bring you happiness now?
This is better than convenience store bento boxes. You can reuse the containers so there's less trash.
Excuse me? He's not understanding at all. Maybe his tongue isn't working properly.
You're supposed to be getting healthier. It's terrible that you have no awareness.
How dare you tear a chef's pride into pieces? I see how it is. I'm even more motivated to win this challenge.
So the meal expenses.
Shut up and eat! This is a problem that deals with our dignity!
Yes, ma'am! Even after that, the meal provision by my neighbors continued. I had no interest in food, but I knew that the three of them were working extremely hard for me. So I tried to thank them and give them a review on the meals by telling them which foods I tasted particularly good to me. This is delicious! Every time I reviewed a dish, I became aware of the flavors in each food. Slowly, I was starting to find meals that I really enjoyed.
How have you been recently? Eating is fun, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. Thank you so much. You made me realize something so important.
Monica-san, you look so much better recently. You seem much healthier.
Yeah, I used to run out of breath pretty quickly when I tried to go on a run, but recently, I haven't felt like that. In fact, my body feels a lot lighter than before.
I'm glad. If so, it was worth making food for you then.
I'm so blessed that you guys treated me so well. feel like I finally understand what my coworkers meant when they said they wanted to marry a woman who's good at cooking.
Monica-san, if you want to get married to a woman that can cook, you can choose someone out of the three of us, you know?
Huh?
So, out of the three of us, whose cooking was the best?
What?
We worked together to create a set menu, but each person prepared the dish they brought on their own. Monica-san, who brought you your favorite dishes?
That's... I can't possibly choose.
Let's cook together sometime, yeah? Just the two of us. Please come by my restaurant sometime soon. I'll serve you a delicious course meal that I created.
Do you want to do a workout together? You have a balanced and nutritious diet, so I think that you should build your body while you're at it too.
I guess our challenge isn't over yet.
Why do they treat me so well? Huh? Heart is beating a little fast. Never realizing that the three of them were trying to make their move on me, I continue to eat meals that somebody else makes for me until this day.
My name is Riku Saito. After I started working, I go to the grocery store to buy dinner every day. Oh, hey, Grandma!
Oh, hey, Riku.
I was worried you changed your time because I stopped seeing you around.
Yeah, I was a little sick recently, so I would shop with your mother during the day.
Wait, sick? You're sick?
Oh, I'm okay now. Anyways, did you lose weight? You should eat some of your grandma's homemade meals.
I live alone, but I live near my grandma who lives alone, along with my parents' home. It's not crazy for me to stumble into them during the day, especially my grandma. She usually shops around the same time as me. I'm glad I can meet her when I'm at the grocery store to make sure she's not sick.
You shouldn't drink too much.
But Mom! Why are you here?
The cat was playing with the toilet paper, so I needed to go buy some toilet paper real quick. You really shouldn't be eating so much oily stuff. You keep drinking alcohol, you're gonna get gout.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad I could meet my grandma, but I'm not sure about my mom. The difference is insane. Anyway, I saw Grandma over there. She was sick?
Yeah. I asked if she wanted me to go buy stuff for her, but then she said she needs the exercise.
I see.
We're talking about maybe trying to get her to live with someone, since it may be getting a little dangerous for her to live alone. Welcome!
I have a bag. I don't need a spoon or chopsticks.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
The cashier. She's gotta be around my age. She's so pretty.
You're getting katsu, huh? I wanted katsu the other day, too. I saw your omelet and felt like I wanted that, too.
You remember what I bought yesterday?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was probably a little too much.
Oh, it's all right. I was just impressed. Do you remember every customer's meal? You must have an excellent memory.
Yeah. I try to remember who buys what as much as I can, but I keep it a secret because some people don't like it. I'm sorry. That just kind of came out.
It's all right. I think if a person doesn't want to talk, they should go to the self-checkout. Even when the self-checkout is empty, people line up to talk to you. They must like you.
Thank you.
Man, she talked a lot today. But I wonder if she'll figure out that I'm only staying in line to talk to her. However, for 2 days, I went to the conveni because of how busy I was. I couldn't make it to the grocery store. When I had some time to go to the grocery store, the girl came running up to me.
Excuse me. Do you know the old lady that you talk to sometimes?
Oh, my grandma? She lives nearby.
Have you seen her in the past 2 days?
No, I was too busy at work, so...
Can you try contacting her? She's been coming every day, but I haven't seen her, and I'm worried. I asked the other workers, but none of them have seen her either.
It could be that my mom shopped for her since she was sick. I'll call my parents. I called my mother immediately. However, my mom said that she hadn't heard from her in 2 days. I called my grandma's phone, but she didn't answer. I called my mom again and had her bring the key to my grandma's house, and we went to check in.
Mom!
Call an ambulance! Yes, my grandmother's collapsed. My grandmother was weak, but they were able to save her life. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, it would have been very possible that she would have passed quietly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so glad.
I didn't know she cared this much about my grandma. I'm so impressed that you noticed my grandmother didn't show up. You really are a great person.
No, she was just a special person to me. After work, we'd sit on the bench in front of the star and eat some snacks while she listened to me vent. I don't have any relatives, so I was so happy about her kindness.
Ah, I understand. I'm sure she was happy to talk to you as well.
I hope so.
I was happy to talk to you, so I kind of understand. You notice things that most people glance over. It's nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I lied before. I don't really remember everything people buy. I only remembered because I knew you were her grandson. When we'd talk, she'd always bring you up. I told her I wanted a family, and she would say you should marry my grandson, and I kind of started thinking about you.
I mean, you're really beautiful, so would you like to try going on a date with me?
Yes, please?
After my grandma was released from the hospital, we really had to start considering something to do about her living condition. It was near impossible for her to live alone.
So, what happened?
Well, we wanted her to stop living alone, but there are 3 cats at my parents' house, and my grandmother is deathly allergic to cats. So I was wondering if I could ask her to live with me, but she's talking about going into an elderly home. I can't take off work either, so I would have to get my mom to watch after her while I'm at work.
What if I lived with your grandma? I know we're not family or anything, but I want to help your grandma.
How about the 3 of us live together? You know, if we got married, for example. Then you're part of the family, right?
I think that's incredible, but you'd want to marry someone like me?
Yes. I kinda knew the second we started dating, but I'd like to marry you. Would you like to live with me?
Yes!
Afterwards, I spoke to my parents and my grandmother about what I wanted to do. My parents were surprised, but my grandmother was in tears because of how happy she was. And so, life began with the 3 of us.
What kind of marriage are you two considering?
We haven't thought of it much yet. We were too busy trying to figure out our living conditions.
It'll probably take a while to prepare, so you just be healthy and happy until then, okay? Oh, of course. I plan on staying alive until my great-grandchild becomes legal.
Grandma? How old are you gonna be?
I gotta have those babies soon.
My name is Kaito Kaeda. I work as a salesman and I have scars on my face. May I ask you a question? How did you get those scars on your face? I thought it looked really cool. I'm sorry if I'm offending you. Oh, you think it looks cool? Thank you! No worries, I get asked about it often. I had a little accident after I got a job and it left me with some scars. I see. It just reminded me of when I was a kid and I wanted a badass scar like that. I actually wrote on my face with a marker. That must have been a fun time trying to get it off. Yeah, my cheek was so red afterwards. Might have gotten another scar. Anyway, we could never forget your face considering my generation looked up to that hero. Thank you. I hope to hear from you more. I know a lot of people are pretty grossed out by my scars, but because of these scars, people remember me pretty easily. It's kind of my weapon as a salesman. It's an easy in, if you will. Everyone remembered me quickly because of my scars. I never really cared about it, and if anything, I took it up as one of my charm points. However, one day at Sekai No Fushigi Limited, which happened to be one of our oldest clients, we had a problem arise. Thank you for your business as usual. My name is Kaeda.
Okay.
Is something wrong?
Your face. What's with the scars?
Oh, this? It's actually something from when I had an accident.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not Yakuza or something?
Oh, no. Some people think I look like a manga character. Never been called a Yakuza before.
I see. I guess a lot of people have taken pity on you. Is it possible to have a different salesman? If I have to see your face every time I need to conduct business, it's pretty painful.
I'm sorry for being a burden.
I don't understand how you can be a salesman with that kind of scar. Aren't there other jobs as a door-to-door salesman? Why don't you try that instead? If your company can't even consider that as an option, they're probably pretty crappy.
Actually, it was my strongest request that they put me in sales. It has nothing to do with the company.
I'm surprised the rest of the clients have kept quiet. I know people don't say anything, and they all think it's disgusting. Can't you figure that out?
I apologize. I will find another salesperson for you. As I returned to the office, I spoke to my manager first. Mr. Tokuda got really mad, and even the CEO showed up in arms. What? Is that client a child?
Right? Who the hell said you can't sell anything if you have a scar on your face? Kaede is an excellent salesman.
Yeah, you're actually one of our best. Oh, I'm sorry. I really don't mind. Most of the people didn't care about it either, so... But I think a lot of people may have disliked it, but they were adults about it. Maybe they didn't like looking at my face. But just like I can't get rid of these scars, I can't make those feelings that they develop go away either. Isn't it both our interest to change the salesman? Sekai No Fushigi Limited is our longtime client, though. It's tough to try to file all the paperwork and find a new person to work the case.
I'll go.
Miss Tokuda, are you sure?
If something happens, I will make sure to report back to Kaede.
Alright, I guess we can try switching with Miss Tokuda. I agree. I feel bad for Kaede, but I suppose that's the best case scenario. I'm alright. I'll support Tokuda to the best of my abilities. I hope everything will work out. I feel some kind of pressure coming from Miss Tokuda. A few weeks later, I went to Sekai No Fushigi to explain the change in salesperson. Oh, hey, Himura! It's been a while! Sir, pleasure as always.
Himura?
The CEO calls me by the manga name as a nickname.
Ah, I see.
Why are both of you here? Kinda rare, isn't it? Well, we're swapping out our salespeople, and from now on, Miss Tokuda will be handling your case. Why are we having to swap salesmen? We don't need to change our people. I appreciate it very much, but I really would rather Mr. Kaede, be our salesman. I'll speak to your company to make sure you can stay on our case.
Sir, it was actually a result of one of your employees.
Miss Tokuda, be quiet!
No, I don't think I will. Your new person didn't like the scars on his face, so she asked for a new salesperson.
Oh no! I understand. I will be going with you two. Excuse me, are you the one that insulted this man's face?
Boss, I just spoke on behalf of everyone in society.
So you think society accepts you insulting one of our most important sales reps? You think that's acceptable behavior? Tarnishing our reputation as a company? Mr. Kaede got those scars because he saved one of our own employees from getting squashed by a falling cabinet.
What?
The CEO even called the man I helped to come talk. And then the two of them began to scold her. Mr. Kaede's scars extend beyond his face. He had to have so many stitches to save me. No matter what the reason behind the scar, it's never justified to talk down on it. But these scars are proof that he saved my life. You apologize for this man now!
Yes, sir. I'm so terribly sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Mr. Kaede, how do you feel about working with this case? We understand if you don't feel comfortable, but we would be willing to swap our person out if you're still interested. Absolutely. If you'll have me, then I'd love to work with you. This story wraps up with the other person getting removed and me continuing to work the case.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
I was a little surprised, but I'm happy that I was able to stay on the case. I had to thank you for that. But it was the first time someone openly told me they were repulsed by my scars. The whole thing was pretty shocking. Maybe I was just lucky.
I don't think it's repulsive at all. I think it's proof of your bravery, and you should be proud.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that it seemed like I was snitching, though. But I promise, if anyone else insults your scars, I will do whatever I have to do to bring justice. If there's another person who insults you, I will protect you, so you can rest easy.
You're gonna make me fall in love.
That's fine with me. I already fell for you.
Scars are just a reminder of someone's history. If there are people who are willing to even love those scars, then I am not afraid of anything.
You can't judge a book by its book cover. It's important to face your own fears and insecurities. It's also wrong to insult people because of their appearance. What did you guys think of today's story? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. See you tomorrow. Bye!
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications.